Even in the Shabar Tantra, which is another branch of another part of Tantra, where Sanskrit mantras are not used. Okay.
Oh.
Haan.
What language is it?
It could be Hindi, it could be Bengali, it could be Awadhi, it could be Punjabi.
What was the word you use?
Sabar.
Sabar.
Haan.
Damn.
Sabar Tantras. It's very popular in North.
What would a Hindi mantra be like?
Could be so many things. I mean, I won't spell out a mantra. Say, for example, if you look at it that way, even Hanuman Chalisa is like a Sabar. Okay.
Which is in Awadhi.
Awadhi. So non-Sanskrit language, potent chants on mantras.
Damn.
And through the Sabar method of worship, any of the deities can be worshipped, including Mahavidyas. So there is a specific Sabari Devi, a deity who is considered as the source from which all these mantra siddhis and everything in the Sabar path comes in. Even that is Kamakhya. There are many great Sabar Upasakas who have attained siddhi in and around Kamakhya. There was also the great Matsyendranath who used to be considered as the great Kola. It's the biggest of the acharyas who was from Kamakhya. You know, there's a very famous anecdotal story. I don't know how far that's true. They used to say that Tansen, who was a musician in the court of Akbar, or perhaps even great musicians, classical musicians, so when they used to play certain ragas, say Rag Deepak, the lamps would light up automatically. How is that possible? So they are not actually chanting a mantra, right? But there is, apart from the technicality of Sanskrit mantras, Sanskrit is very sophisticated for mantra shastra, but there is also the other thing, that is your strong vital energy that comes through your emotion. So when a mantra comes out through the word of a siddha, somebody who has attained perfection, even if that is in a local language or a non-Sanskrit language, it carries along with it certain power. So the upasaka in Sabar has to chant those mantras, but in a certain vidhi, in a process, which process is specific to that mantra. For example, there could be some mantra, protection mantra, which one may have to do, say, on a particular tithi, on a particular day, sit and do X 5 malas or 7 malas using this kind of environment. And then it gets activated. So like this. So Sabar mantras are faster than Sanskrit mantras.
Faster?
In terms of activation.
Really?
They're very fast.
Why?
Why means that's because Sanskrit mantras are more comprehensive. Sanskrit mantras, activating a Sanskrit mantra is actually like getting a PhD.
Okay.
It is very comprehensive. It will take a lot of time. It may take lifetimes of efforts. But once it gets activated, it's going to stay with you always. Whereas for non-Sanskrit Sabar mantras, they activate quickly, but they need to be recharged on and on. Otherwise, the power will fade away also.
How do you recharge them? Through your own upasana?
Upasana. Paddhatis are there. In fact, the night before Holi, it's considered one of the most potent nights for recharging Sabar mantras.
When you're burning the fire?
Yes. The night before Holi, when you're actually burning the fire, that night is considered as very potent. In fact, not just that night, 1-2 nights before that only the energy shifts. So those who have Sabar mantra of any deity, it could be, by the way, Sabar mantra, whether it's Bhairava, whether it's Devi, whether it's anybody, you start chanting the mantras and doing the sadhana and it reactivates. It will remain with you active for the whole year.
There's a particular sadhana or technique which is used to recharge a mantra.
Depending on the mantra specifically.
Sure. Okay.
And there are also sadhanas, which are rare, by which if a guru gives it, competent guru gives it, if somebody accomplishes that sadhana, any Sabar mantra will get unlocked.
You mean you can make your own mantra?
No. For that you have to attain siddhi.
But there is.
There is. Because see, your words must have that kind of self-actualizing power. That I say something and it is going to happen. That is what technically is called as Vaksiddhi.
Manifestation.
Exactly. Anything that comes out of your mouth, nature will make sure that it happens. For that, only those things will come out which will happen. Now, whether you are being a channel for nature to execute things or whether there's a free will inside you that is making things get executed, I don't know. But that is a blessing that comes from nature, from the deities. Only that kind of a man can create a mantra.
I'm assuming it's a very difficult siddhi to obtain.
Of course. But it's mentioned across the Tantric texts.
Okay.
All deities.
Can I read out?
You can read out, but every Sabar mantra will have its technique. So it's not about just chanting.
Okay, I won't read out. But if I do read out, will it have a negative effect on me?
No, mostly Sabar mantras don't have a negative effect.
In that case, Atharva, Google Bhairav Hindi Sabar mantra. I just want to see what the words are. That's all.
So oftentimes another thing is that Sabar mantras may not even have a meaning.
Oh.
That's very interesting.
Until one is putting the emotions in it, there's no power.
So that's what I say. There's not just emotions. Emotion to baad mein aayega. Before that, you have to activate that.
Activate it.
Through specific sadhanas which are linked to that specific mantra.